everyone, and welcome to Live in the Solution. These are your readings for February the 26th through March the 4th. And first of all, I want to give a little astrological report on what's going on, because there's a lot going on this week. And I will put in the show more section below the timeline that you can skip the astrological report if you are checking out your sun, moon and rising, because these are for your sun, moon and rising also. Thank you guys for all the wonderful comments, for liking my videos, for sharing them, and for subscribing. And please, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I have also created a Patreon page, and if you would like to show a little love, you know, please patronize me on Patreon. People say, don't patronize me. Please patronize me. The link to Patreon is in the show more section below. I welcome constructive criticism. I just kind of did it today. It was, or yesterday, I should say. So I've kind of, you know, trying to get my head around all this technical stuff, and you know, it is what it is. Anyway, so I would really appreciate it if you check out my Patreon page. So without further ado, let's go to the astrological happenings and transits this week. Now we have on the 1st, we have a full moon in Virgo. Now Virgo is the opposite sign of Pisces, and Pisces is dreamy, watery, go with the flow, spiritual, yeah, whatever, you know. And Virgo is practical. It's an earth sign. It's, you know, a perfectionist, analytical, you know, has to get things right. Now, this is happening, I normally don't mention the degrees, but this is happening at 11 degrees and 22 minutes. 2 power numbers. So that's kind of exciting. So it means it's a very powerful full moon. We're going to feel kind of emotional and possibly self-critical or criticizing others. We need to be aware of this. We need to be aware of our internal dialogue. We need to be aware of how we need to be kind. So we've got to put kindness and compassion in front this week. And it's really important to keep our focus on what we have accomplished as opposed to what we haven't, and how we've done our best. And if we are going to criticize, we need to do it in constructive criticism. Like I take constructive criticism, I welcome it. I can have growth through constructive criticism. I don't take that personal, but when it's unkind, and of course, that hurts my feelings if it's unkind. So I'm very fortunate that I get lovely comments. Occasionally, I'll get one or two that are unkind, and I just send them off with love. Because what you put out, you know, you get back sometimes. So I have to be mindful to be constructively critical about myself, because we can also, when we're constructively critical with ourselves, it's kind of personal growth, isn't it? It's looking at where we need to improve. That's constructive criticism, but it's not, you know, like you're no good and you can't do this and why do you bother, and you know, you're useless, and you know, those kind of thoughts are not helpful. So we have to really be aware of our internal dialogue and how we're treating others. We all want to be treated with kindness and compassion, don't we? So that's what we need to do. We need to do with others. Now, at the time of this full moon, around the time of this full moon, we also have Mercury in a positive aspect to Jupiter, which means, you know, Mercury is about the intellect, Jupiter is about expansion. So it means, you know, brilliant ideas, innovative, creative ideas. And I always feel that we get that when we go inside and we meditate. So that's a brilliant, wonderful opportunity to meditate and get these wonderful, incredible, creative ideas and how to move forward with our lives. Now, we have, of course, we have the sun in Pisces. and right next to Neptune. And the sun is about identity. Neptune is about spirituality, angels, guides. It's a wonderful time to connect with your spirit guides and angels and really connect spiritually, and really identify what your belief system is. This is a wonderful time to explore that. Incredible creative meditative meditations are possible at this time. Now, Mercury and Venus are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio, right? Mercury and Venus in Pisces are conjunct with Jupiter in Scorpio. So we've got Jupiter in play a lot. This is expansion. So it's very, very important to keep our thoughts and positive and optimistic, and because we can go down the spiral in the other way, right? Whatever we focus on expands at this time. So it's really, really important to really look at how we're thinking and what we're projecting out into the world. It's a wonderful time. That aspect creates this wonderful kind of spiritual conversations. It's about being receptive. It's feminine energy. It's receptivity and it's healing, deeply healing. So when we can have these philosophical, incredible spiritual conversations, and it's a very healing energy that's coming in. It's about having trust and faith in divine timing. It's about being patient, because we could have this tendency to be a little irritated next week. If we are aware of that, we can sit back, take a breath, and just, you don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know what feelings they're processing and so it's about being patient, it's about being kind, and it's about stepping back and being in Pisces energy. Okay, let's go with the flow. You don't have to beat the horn. You don't have to, shout at someone. You don't have to, put yourself in that anger. Now, Venus and Mercury connect with Chiron, right? And Chiron's the healing wound, the wounded healer, the healing wounded, the wounded healer. This is a perfect time for healing and personal growth, and it's a positive healing energy. So this week, I think, is a wonderful week when we're aware of the shadow side of things, so that we can keep it on the positive. We can, connect with other people and, have these wonderful conversations. We can meditate. We can work on it, healing our soul, healing our psyche, expansion, growth. Personal growth. This is a perfect week for personal growth. March has the energy of the number 5. Freedom, expansion, change, doing things differently, not wanting to be tied down, keep moving forward, keep it on the move, restlessness, right? So it's interesting that we have all these planetary aspects, this astrological change that's going on. So it really kind of goes with March, right? Okay, let's go to your cards, shall we? Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your reading for February the 26th through March the 4th. And the first card that came up for you, Cancer, is the 3 of Pentacles. This is called it's like the expert, right? This is about expanding on your knowledge. It's about, it's interesting because we've got a lot of aspects this week. that would relate to this. So I feel that you have to learn everything you can about your craft. And this is, I always get in the moment. Now, when I was shuffling your cards, the first thing that came out for me, the word that came out for me was spirituality. That came to me. I'm just saying that before I forget. But this is about being in the moment. To me, that's very spiritual. It's enlightenment. When you're in the moment, we don't have anything other than this moment. We may as well be engaged. Look how engaged he is, how creative he is, and what an expert he is in that moment, totally focused. So the words that I get with this are, being in the moment, focused, and being present. So I feel that you have to become an expert at what you do. Bring the passion into it. Do what you feel passionate about. Definitely. And clarifying that is interesting. We've got the Two of Spring now in this card. This can be a decision, but in this card, it's about partnering with somebody, not in a romantic way, in a creative or business way. And it's about two people coming together. This is interesting, right? Okay, so I'll go to that in a minute. It's about two people coming together, both with different talents, if you will, and when they come together, they create something wonderful, right? So two creating something wonderful turns into a three, right? This is like a creation. So I have a feeling that you're going to meet someone that is very it's going to be a wonderful opportunity. Actually, you may already know them, but this is about doing something really creative, creating something wonderful. Teamwork. I'm getting teamwork too. So this is about working with a team, really getting down to it. This is wonderful. Now, it's so funny because look, the next card is the Hermit, and I was thinking spirituality. So, the Hermit is about retreating from society and meditating and coming out with this wonderful knowledge. And it's almost like, going into the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. It's that kind of thing. Of course, you're not going to retreat for 40 days and 40 nights. 20 minutes of meditation will do. But you tap into that wonderful knowledge that's available for you. And then, look, this is also a light at the end of the tunnel. For you, Cancer. Things have turned around for you recently, I know. I feel the energy, and a lot of other Cancerians, we've talked about it, feel the same way. And this is the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So you're walking towards the light, the spirituality aspect. And when you actually, this is wonderful, because when you go inside and you tap into that wisdom, that knowledge, that unconditional love, all of that, when you do that, you can come out and you can hold the light up for others and show them the way, raising your vibration. Meditation raises your vibration. So you attract wonderful things towards you when you raise your vibration. So clarifying that, right, is the King of Autumn. Right, and the King of Autumn, he's the King of Pentacles. That it's Earth. This is about abundance. This is about hard work and determination pays off. Your hard work is paying off. This is about understanding that maybe you need to be patient if you're not already getting paid, but it's coming. You're being rewarded for your hard work, Cancer. You really are. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can see that this hard work that you put in all this time is starting to pay off. And this is saying, look, this could mean for some of you, this is like a really good company that you've got a job for, wonderful to work for, a brand new boss that's wonderful. This could mean for those of you who meet your partner, this business partner, or this creative endeavor that you may go on. This is a wonderful joining. So it's amazing. This is wonderful, Cancer. Yes. I really see wonderful things. Now, you have the next card is the king. You've got royalty, a lot of royalty, darling. This is the King of Swords, and he is the champion for justice. And when this card fell out, I just got, karma. So he's kind of akin to the Justice card. So he will he has no area in judging people or bringing justice upon them, and he is the champion for justice. So you better make sure that everything you're doing is for the higher good of everyone. This is what I get when he comes in, because every choice that you make has a karmic value, and he's here to say, keep your side of the street clean, because if you don't, the wrath of the King of Swords will come down upon you. And what I just got also, right, well, clarifying it, darling, is the Four of Autumn, a service card. Well, this is also, you can be holding on to stuff, but I got that you have to balance your finances, and that's very kind of apropos this week. We could have a tendency to overspend, so this is about grounding yourself and understanding not to overspend, right? Do everything for the right reason and the best for everyone involved. Don't get caught online shopping, or we could have a tendency to overspend because we definitely have Venus next to in a good aspect to Jupiter, and Jupiter's about expansion. Venus is about finances too. So we do have to be careful about overspending. Now, this is saying balance your finances, but it's also saying help those less fortunate. If you do have the money, really see where you can help someone. It doesn't even have to be money. It can be time. Look, your energy and your time. That's valuable. That's more valuable than money sometimes, right? So sometimes this is about being helpful to someone else. And yeah, you're going to hold the light up for others too. You can be there emotionally for someone. You can actually be listen to their woes. And, this is definitely... This is interesting. This is about not being too critical, right? And that's the full moon in Virgo. We could be critical. We could be critical against ourselves. This is hold the judgment, darling. Hold the judgment on yourself and others. And, listen, criticism in terms of constructive criticism is okay. But there's a fine line between, berating someone and giving them constructive criticism, and sometimes people aren't even open to constructive criticism, so you have to be very careful about how you communicate this week. This is the intellect realm. It can be communication, so you really want to think about how you speak to people and what you say to them, and that includes yourself, Cancer. It's very easy to berate yourself and to be critical of yourself, but just be aware of that, Cancer, and everything's smooth sailing for you. Don't forget, meditate. Be kind to yourself. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email Mary at liveinthesolution.com.